What is up there, LEGO fans? Welcome back. Alex here. In this video, we're going to be rebuilding the Torgue Tower. This is a mock I put together some years ago just because I had a lot of yellow bricks. I thought, man, what can I do with all these yellow bricks? So I threw this together really quick to be the Torgue Tower. And I never did a video on this thing because there's really nothing to show. It's a hollow building. It's blocky. It's very bright. It's not really the most attractive. Well, it's not even near attractive. But I do like the Torgue name on the front there. If you guys are confused about what Torgue means, it's based off of a video game, Borderlands. It's one of the weapons manufacturers. I thought it'd be kind of cool to have the Torgue Tower in my city. But anyway, I'm going to see if I can rebuild this thing, give it a sufficient interior, tone the yellowness down a bit, make it look a little bit more modern, and see what we can come up with. So anyway, that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, now in true Torgue fashion, we're going to blow it up. We don't have any explosives, so what we're going to do is just drop it, right, Josh? Yeah. All right, so I took a lot of the, I don't know, a lot of the windows are all out with other stuff, so it's just kind of a shell. So, all right, Josh, ready to do this thing, man? Okay, pick that thing up and let's do this thing.
All right, straight down like this?
Yeah, give it some good force, too.
All right.
Oh, oh, man.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. All right. Thanks, buddy. So here we are post-carnage, and I took all the bricks apart as much as I could and put them in a pile here. You can see why I did what I did, because there's just so many bricks here. Here's all the plates that we took out of it, and a little bit of green. Josh took the liberty of retrieving all the letters and putting them together for me. Oh yeah, these are the stacked bricks that I had, splitting up each floor. I don't know why I did that. Like I said, it was years ago. And here is our blank slate. We'll get to start all over with. And look at all these yellow bricks. I still had a decent number of these yellow bricks. Let's see, we also have a lot of windows. Man, there's tons of these things. It's amazing how quickly you use those in mocks. For fun, let's go down to the downtown area, see what it looks like without the Torgue Tower. So definitely missing something there, right? Now, I'm going to add another floor, at least I hope I'm going to add another floor here very soon to the said complex. So maybe that'll make it a little more visible, a little more level with the Mike's Tower there. So it's looking okay, because I think right now from this angle, there's a lot of it that's blocked by these modulars right there. So I definitely got to get that thing more visible in the back there. So, all right, guys, so that is the demolition part. That's the easy part. And now it is time to rebuild. So let's see if we can figure this out.
A few moments later.
And we're back, and here is the new Torgue Tower. A lot of similarities to the predecessor Torgue Tower, but I think this is definitely an improvement. In certain areas, definitely going to be the back. I'll show that in just a second here. But looking at the front, you can tell, obviously, that I built it around the Torgue marquee there in the front. Definitely wanted to keep that. That was my favorite part of the Torgue Tower. Actually, the predecessor, the big Torgue sign, was really all that it had going for it. So that is definitely a keeper. Now, you'll notice that at the base here, definitely kept those checker designs with the black and yellow elements. Like that, the front doors are actually at the front of the building instead of the side, so that is a definite improvement. And we have a couple of walkouts here on either side of the building. A different bit of texture design. It's no longer a square building, so you can kind of see that it has this protrusion right here at the front. What I was trying to do was create a part of the building, this front part, to make it look like a shotgun barrel, and I don't know that I really accomplished my design or my goal there, but that's what I was going for, so that's why it looks the way it is with those vents there. But I will say, though, that it gives it a very unique design, having those angles coming out on either side of the building. Gives it a very cyberpunk kind of feel, but either way, pretty happy with it. Let's go ahead and look at the side of this thing. Definitely using a lot of those same window elements, giving it the red accents on the bottom and top of those big windows. Here at the back, this is the biggest improvement in my opinion, and that is the fact that it actually has a back. It's not open anymore, and that's why I used so many extra bricks with this design. I think it's actually shorter than its predecessor. I'm not sure by how many bricks, but it's definitely shorter. But it's still big for floors, as you can see. Now this overall is a very similar design to the Mike's Tower that it's going to be sitting next to. What I mean by that is that it's partially modular, which means that the top 3 floors remove from the bottom floor, giving you access to that bottom floor, a little easy that way. However, I was not able to make it modular for the rest of the way up. So what I decided to do was create a very large door in the back that you just open up like so, like a big refrigerator, and then you can get access to these top 3 levels. Interior wise on this thing, well, it doesn't have an interior quite yet, and that is because I want to get the elevator working first. I ran out of pieces and I wanted to make sure that I had the elevator working before I fill this thing up with cool weapons. So at the bottom here, you'll notice I've got 8 studs by 7 studs deep to work with an elevator. I think that should give me enough space to work with something right here. But once that's done, we can start filling this thing up. I want to actually put an indoor gun range in here and fill it up with all kinds of Torgue weaponry of sorts in here. I think that'd be kind of fun for Mr. Torgue. But in the meantime, though, we kind of look inside here, and you'll notice that I got a smiley face on one of the 2x4 bricks there. I realized that after I built it. But what's interesting about these top 2 levels is they have these red handles, and if I grab one of these handles, I can actually remove this entire wall. It comes out like this, right? And I did this because I wanted to hide the ugly front, because you have the other side of the letters, right? And it's super ugly there, and you have those angled elements that are hanging out on either side there. But I thought, you know what, it's multi-purpose. It's serving the purpose of hiding the ugly, but it also can serve as a way for Mr. Torgue to hide perhaps those more illegal weapons that he would keep for more shady customers, right? So anyway, there you go. Me fit. Yeah, there it is. So back in there, nice and sturdy, and hiding whatever he needs to hide in the back, or the front, I should say, of the Torgue Tower. With that quick review of the Torgue Tower over, it is now time to put this thing back in the downtown area. This thing is a beast, so we're definitely going to need to use both hands. Okay. So it looks okay where it's at. I did have to move the sit complex down by a half base plate to give them space there. So there's some parking in between the 2 buildings now. It was just way too close before. So the Torgue Tower definitely is shorter than before. I think it matched the height of the Mike's Tower next to it. So even though it uses a lot more bricks and is a lot heavier, it's definitely not as tall as it was previously. But you know what? It looks pretty good. It's definitely still a very bright colored building. It definitely gets the attention from these other buildings that are definitely on the grayscale. That's for darn sure. But regardless, I'm still pretty happy with how it turned out. Looking at the back of it right here, you'll notice it's very close to the train track right here. When I first put the base together, it was actually touching the railroad track, so I had to move it forward by 2 studs. It did put it pretty close to the street in front of it, but there's still some decent space for people to go in front of the building without getting hit by a car, and for a train to pass by here without clipping the back of the building. Here we see a better view of those cars. A little tight right here, some tight parking, definitely for the more compact vehicle, but it works all the same. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for the rebuild of the Torgue Tower. There it is. And on to other projects. And one of those projects is going to be adding another floor to the SIT complex. And hopefully sometime soon we'll get an announcement from the Lego group on the next modular. I actually have a construction crew over here working on it right now. So hopefully we'll get to, hey, Jimmy, what's up, buddy?
Hi.
I'm glad you made it here. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.